It was the first time in my life, like, I had set out to do something. I had set out to, like, I'm gonna achieve this goal, and not achieved it.
Jonathan Clay JJ Redick, born June 24th, 1984. My top 5 favorite college players of all time: Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Jay Williams, Vince Carter, and Ben Gordon. No, JJ Redick was not one of my favorites, but I've always admired many things he was able to show on that level. I think what maybe held him back from being on a favorite top 5 of mine is because I think many could see he wasn't ever going to be one of the best players in the NBA. Athleticism itself gave that away early on. But one thing about this sharpshooter that shot 40% for his career from 3 at Duke, with a career-high 42 his senior year, was you could always tell he was a hard worker, and not many would out-effort him on any level when it came to basketball, more specifically shooting and preparation. Redick approached basketball with a scientific strategy, mapping out entire days down to the time he'd enter a toe in the hot tub, to his daily back and foot rubs, and probably down to his own daily deuce. He knew what he'd eat for breakfast days in advance and approached off seasons more nervous for the work he knew it would take than the actual seasons. In a way, JJ Redick had to be this compulsively obsessive with his craft because, unlike most college stars, NBA lottery picks, and 15-year career veterans, Redick wasn't blessed athletically with what those guys were. There were no high-flying dunks, blow-bys soon as he passed half court, or shifting a guy so bad he touches earth, leaving him wide open for a layup in his book. There had to be sharp, focused, strategical, and persistent hard work invested by JJ Redick to transform his NBA career from complete bust in the first few seasons to becoming one of the best shooters the NBA has ever seen, shooting 41% for his career with a career-high 47% in 15-16. As of now, he's top 20 all-time career average. Not bad for a guy that played less than 15 minutes a game as a rookie, even less in year 2, had 0 starts in that span, and averaged 5 points a game. But since a few changes in scenery for a few years, mostly coming after 30 years old, Redick has been great for franchises like the Magic later on, Pelicans, and the Clippers. He left college winning almost every award you can imagine, including twice the ACC Player of the Year, All-American, and National Player of the Year. A championship or two, he could have been one of the greatest ever at that level. Then, a slow start caused a lot of people to doubt the player he eventually became. Here's what slowed him down and what helped his legacy transform. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. JJ Redick was a shooting guard from Roanoke, Virginia that got his nickname JJ, the only name he'd be known by from his older twin sisters. Watching Christian Laettner hit the shot to beat Kentucky in the '92 Eastern Regional Finals, Redick decided at that moment he wanted to play for the Duke Blue Devils. As a freshman in high school, he had to wait his turn as a starter, and by Christmas that year, he got his opportunity to start and never looked back. He averaged 17 points a game that year, completely showcasing his confident swagger as his dad describes it. Then 23 as a sophomore, 28 as a junior, and capped it off as Virginia's all-time leading scorer, Mr. Basketball, shot 42% from 3 for his career, and a McDonald's All-American, winning the game's MVP with 26 points and 5 threes. He still wasn't a top 20 or 30 recruit, but got his dream offer from Duke and came in immediately productive, averaging 15 points a game and shot 39% from 3. His sophomore year, he'd struggle a bit, mainly with his attitude off the court and grades in the classroom. In an important junior year, he refocused the summer prior and took a huge jump in scoring and three-point shooting at least 40% for the first time, becoming the ACC Tournament MVP and Player of the Year for the first time as well. It led to a standout senior year at 26.8 points a game, good for second in the nation behind Adam Morrison, shooting 42% from three. He added 91% from the foul line for his career as well, leaving college as one of Duke's most recognizable and best players of all time, as the perfect Duke villain and player many love to hate, leaving the program as the all-time leader in three-pointers. Stunt/transformation number 1, working through limited minutes.
The Orlando Magic select JJ Redick from Duke University.
Not winning a college championship, I think, strengthened many's belief that Redick was the typical white college player that was good in a system, especially one like Duke, but didn't have the athleticism or toughness it would take to be good in the NBA. He was one of the most popular players in college basketball as a senior, second only behind the next Larry Bird, they called him, Adam Morrison. But when he slipped to 11 in the 2006 draft, it almost wrote him off as finally teams got him in workouts and saw he was just another bust in the making. Orlando took him, and other than Brandon Roy for a short time, Redick would end up having the best career of that year's lottery. Eventually, because in the beginning, JJ struggled to find minutes on the floor in the new, athletic, open floor on defense and offense environment that was the NBA. Orlando was a playoff team that went to the NBA Finals in Redick's third year, but not much because of his play. He averaged 15 minutes a game his first 4 years in Orlando and 6 points a game. In these days, 4 years is a long time to see if a player was a bust or not, and JJ sure seemed headed to that label. In 2008, he even sought a trade through his agent. He stuck with it and got opportunities due to injured players like Courtney Lee and Mikael Pietrus. By 11-12, he was averaging double digits in points and shooting 41% from three, but the very next year, the team traded him to the Bucks, where he struggled to find minutes once again behind Monta Ellis and Brandon Jennings. He could have sulked and accepted being pretty much a disappointment, but stuck with it and was a pretty good role player for the Magic and Bucks for the short time he was there. Growth spurt/transformation number 2, spark in LA.
JJ Redick, number 4.
It was such an honor.
JJ Redick, because of his lack of defense on top guards, size at shooting guard, and lack of physical strength to play off guard, was on his third team in the league in 2013. But this team proved to be the spark he needed to salvage his career. The Clippers gained their own spark in Chris Paul's vetoed trade, an unexpected landing there, and also being fortunate to have Paul's most dangerous 2 running mates in Griffin and Jordan as their young selves, but were missing a floor spreader to open all the lanes the 3 needed to be who they became. In JJ's first year, they won 57 games and were third in the conference, but lost in the second round to OKC. Redick in the next 4 years in LA averaged 16 points and shot 44% from 3, but the teams were disappointments in that span, usually coming in with lots of hype, then losing in the first or second round. Nevertheless, Redick found the spark his career needed as he figured exactly who he needed to be in order to turn things around. The best role player in the game. Stunt/transformation number 3, late bloom. 2 ironic words when used together that perfectly sums up the later parts of JJ's career. Late to the party, becoming some semblance of who many thought he could be, but blooming into the role player and shooter your team could have used from 2017 to 2019. He signed with the Sixers June 2017 and played a rare 30 minutes a game, starting all 70 he played in, becoming a strong third option behind Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. He averaged 17 points a game, along with another 40-90 season. 2018-19, he started coming off the bench, but as the season went on, he saw more playing time because of injuries, and he was a 40% shooter. You just don't sit those guys on the bench. A career-high 18 points a game, yet still after the 18-19 season, he decided to leave Philly and sign in New Orleans. He was now 35 years old. It was a quick 2-3 year bloom, but enough to raise his career from the ashes into a solid role player that lasted 15 years. After 13 games in 2021 and 36 years old, JJ Redick retired from basketball as a solid role player. All in all, JJ Redick played a respectable career, seeing as the NBA isn't exactly befitting of his game and physical gifts or lack thereof. But many superstars wanted him on their team. He was fearless and clutch, he just didn't have certain skills like ball handling, defense, and ability to create for others. But his college career will forever be mentioned as one of the best in Duke's history. His NBA career, an all-time great shooter. He can live with that. Salute, much respect. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.
You've seen this little kid grow up and want these things and work so hard for them, and then it's really happening.